All right, now let's have a little conversation here. I just have a new progress report. Plans to refresh my memory. What's missing is your allegory, of course, and today's vocabulary quiz. So those are the two missing works. Right now you're in an 84. Your homework average has suffered recently from the top line there. It's quite low. I think overall the quality of your work is, it seems as though it's diminishing a bit. There are some missing assignments there as well. So that's something you need to keep an eye on as a test grade. You don't want that to slide down a little bit in my book. Just off the top of my head, the day, I don't remember what day it was, the other day, the kids worked on vocabulary for a few minutes and then some other assignments. And so that was 1-0. We haven't had all that many, so they're actually worth more than they will by the end of this term.
And are you saying I'm missing vocabulary?
No, you're missing, do you remember that day? What day was it? I don't know. Thursday maybe? Maybe Wednesday before that, when the students had about 20 minutes of class time to do a little bit of vocabulary work, which the exercises weren't due till later anyway, but when I give classwork in class, it doesn't mean kids can just sit and look out the window. So the expectation is that when students are working in class, then
are you speaking of numbers 1 to 3 in the book A and B? For the Pilgrim's Progress or something?
No. Was that the one?
Because if what I'm thinking of, you have 4 computers, and you can either type your homework or write it out, and I decided to type it. Since all 4 computers were already taken up, there's no point in me writing it out, so I decided to look at the questions, figure out what the answers were, which you can see I was going back and forth, rereading what we had just read, so I knew what the answers were. I came home that day, and I just knew it off what I needed to say, and I just typed it up. If there's a problem with you thinking I wasn't doing anything, which not doing anything to me is sitting there looking out the window, not looking at my book, reading, then please say something next time. It's like the vocabulary, I think it might have been Monday or something. You probably thought I wasn't doing anything then either when we had our vocab, except I had done that the day before, so I'm not doing nothing.
Okay, let's back up, because I don't know that the major problem in this class with you is content related. Clearly, you know your vocabulary. Clearly, you can write an essay. Your writing skills are not advancing at the same rate, I think, that they should be. Why, I could guess, and I think I know why, but you know more about that.
Why do you think they're not advancing?
I think that maybe you're not taking enough time to edit. I think that suggestions that I'm making on paper is due for all the students to enhance their writing skills. For some reason, you have an incredible chip on your shoulder toward me. I don't expect you to like me. I don't care if you like me. It's irrelevant. Kids don't have to like the teachers. Teachers don't have to like the kids. But we do have to work together because what's at risk here is your success. And I want you to be successful, whether you believe that or not. I want my kids to be successful. I want them to gain skills. I want them to move on to next year and college with a base of skills that you have a handle on already, but we have to be careful that you don't, for whatever reason, attitude, or I'm not doing that for her, or I'll show her, or whatever attitude issue there is, doesn't slow your progress down. So I'm worried, not worried, but the issue might be that the anger that is so obvious is keeping you from listening to suggestions that I make as a professional teacher that I know will help you improve. Back to the poem that you wrote. Obviously, you're frustrated. It's more than clear when you come in throughout the class period, you know, the little jabbering that's going on. It's more than clear that you're frustrated. There are a few ways to get through that, and one of the ways is just kind of dig in and do your best regardless of who the teacher is, whether it's science or math or whatever it is. Your goal as a student independently is just to shine, to do the very best you can so that your skills advance. Not just for the number, not just for the grade, but so you have a working base for next year and onward. And I'm concerned that because of whatever reason you have, you're kind of shutting down. And it's clear that you're kind of shutting down because of some personal issues. But that really has to be set aside for your own success. You're a bright student, and you can handle it, and your vocabulary is certainly fine. But, you know, we have to move beyond just the factual, literal spitting back of information. We have to go into deeper analysis, and that comes through in the writing prompts and on the test and so forth. I think you're an 80-something on the test. I can look that up. But, you know, back to the whole poem and, you know, the attitude, you need to explain a little bit as to where that's coming from.
As far as the essay, my essays, I don't find that your comments are helpful.
Okay.
They don't help me. So
Okay.
that's the essays.
All right.
The poem, I was sick that day, and I needed to get to bed. I still go to bed at a decent time. And I was tired, and honestly, if I needed to write a poem, what was going to flow more easily? How I felt about the class, and I never mentioned you by name, even in that poem.
Well, you can't be serious.
And, oh, but I am. And then, please let me finish. And then I'm not going to sit there trying to think about something like world peace or love or Valentine's Day, because that's not going to flow as easily, and I needed to get to bed. So that came out, and honestly, it was a very well-written poem, I think.
Really?
And I showed it to my parents, and I know you thought it was a hit and run, which was the other thing, because Allie Racine wasn't in class either, but I don't think she got a phone call. And that's because I was in pep band. I went to first lunch that day. Then they said pep band has second lunch. I went to second lunch, please. And then I missed the rest of PowerPoint, and I missed English. So that's why I gave it to Chelsea Duquette to give in to you. So it was on time. So then you couldn't say that I just wasn't on time, which honestly, it was fine about that. And my mom did say that you had brought that up, so that's why I'm saying that. I'm not just making that up. And then, yeah, my parents liked my poem, and honestly, my dad thought it was very humorous, and that's why they are fully behind me, and honestly, I'm not sure that you can actually give me a 0 for that.
Of course I can.
So actually, Ms. Fontaine's actually checking with the actual school system to see if you can give me a 0. Because if I had written about anyone else, say I had written about band, I hate band. I can't wait until band is done. I'm not progressing with my trumpet skills. Then I don't think you would have gotten offended because it's about Mr. Ledwith or it's about band. Greg Mitsotakis wrote about Mr. Campbell. While you said to him, Greg, I think that would be a little offensive to Mr. Campbell, but you gave him a grade and he passed with that. See, if you wanted to be a bigger person, let's say, or
this
something.
This meeting is finished. You need to leave. If I need to be a bigger person. Tomorrow's not going anywhere. There's a wall between reality